Dude, turn on the TV.
What do you want to watch?
You don't want to watch that Jersey Shore.
Okay, let me turn on the TV.
FPC, fist pump, push-up, step stick. Push-up, push-up, step.
Your life is now about to be changed forever.
Television. What is television exactly? Television is one of the most innovative and useful inventions of our time. It connects us in ways we previously would never dream of. Dictionary.com defines it as the broadcasting of a still or moving image via radio waves to receivers that project a view of the image made on a picture tube. But how would you define it? As a pointless form of entertainment? A means of communication? Everyone has their own opinions on their use of television, but few people know exactly how much television affects our everyday life. What we wear, how we act, what we do, how we treat people is all determined by what we see on television. We're here today to show the ways it can affect you, influence you, entertain you, or possibly help you. The next few minutes are going to be an experiment, but it can only work if you pay attention. And if all goes well, maybe, just maybe, this can influence the way you think of television as well. Hello there, I'm Andres Lozano, and we start our epic journey here with my brother, Danny. He is in 5th grade and he loves television, but he was born into a world where TV isn't always good. And as a brother, I need to make sure that he grows up in a world where television doesn't control the minds of millions.
Shut up. Hey Danny, I'm gonna ask you some questions now, so you can just look at the camera and answer my questions.
Okay.
So Danny, what's your favorite TV show?
Pokemon.
And do you know who the bad guys are?
The Team Rocket people.
How many hours of television do you watch every day?
5 hours.
And what effect do you think this has on your brain?
I don't know, but I think I'm really bored right now.
NCIS.
Pretty Little Liars.
Probably The Big Bang Theory.
The Desperate Housewives. The New Girl.
Seinfeld.
My favorite show is Ice Road Truckers.
Mob Wives.
Right now, Modern Family. My favorite show is Sportsman and NFL Network.
I also say Glee. Well, I have Jersey Shore. I have Housewives of Beverly Hills, Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Chloe and Lamar, Courtney and Kim make New York.
My favorite show is Pokemon.
My favorite show is My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic.
The Walking Dead. That's 70 Show. Prison Break.
There are many different genres of shows on the television today. Such genres include cartoons, anime, sports, children's shows, drama, sci-fi, fantasy, news, reality, competition shows, and sitcom. You're probably wondering why I'm telling you all these different types of TV shows. But what you don't know is that the types of television shows that you watch can influence your personality.
I'm Sean Thomas, and we continue our journey here at the Channel 9 news station. Come on, let's go.
This is the newsroom, and this is where up here we have our morning meeting and decide what stories we're going to do, and then the reporters and anchors have their desks to work on stories and shows.
Today we're going to do a documentary on TV.
In a moment, we're going to interview Miss Lindsay Jackson about the effects of news and how it affects you.
Lozano, here today with Miss Lindsay Jackson in an interview. So, Miss Jackson, where do you get your news from?
We get it from everywhere. I mean, local news, we hear about things here in town. We have police scanners on the desk, so we hear if things are going on there. We get tips on Facebook, Twitter, emails. Some things are scheduled events, so we know about them ahead of time. And then we get them from the wires, from the Associated Press, ABC, and CNN.
Okay. And could you take us through the process of making a newscast?
Yeah, it's really a lot more simple than you might imagine. We have a system called ENPS, so you open it, start a rundown, which would be the show, and it's empty except for when commercial breaks are set to air. They are always about the same time. So you start at the top and you have your most important breaking news first. So if there was a shooting, that would be first, a car accident, anything that's today happening now that affects the largest amount of people goes first. And then you sort of run down the list. You see what news you have, what people need to know about in order of importance, and sort of think about it as starting in Chattanooga and working your way out. So you would do local news, regional news, national news, international news. And you just plug it in. It's really up to the producer, exactly what order it's in, but everyone's generally taught to think in the same mindset. So, they're about the same no matter who's producing it.
How do you think your news affects the lives of people watching it?
I think it's huge. People tune in most importantly to see. They want to know what the forecast is for tomorrow. They want to know how to dress, to carry an umbrella, what they need to. People they need to tune in to see what is affecting the place that they live in. I think it helps them stay aware of what's going on, and they can be prepared for anything that's going to happen in the future.
That's all the questions we have for today.
Okay.
So, thank you.
None.
About 10 or 20, 30 maybe.
3.
I watch 3 hours of TV a day.
Maybe 2.
Probably like 4 or 5. I don't watch TV at all.
Less than 1.
I watch about 3 hours. Less than 1.
I watch 26 hours of TV each day.
Like 2 hours maybe.
I watch probably about an hour and a half TV in a day.
한 10시간 정도 보지.
What was that?
Like 10 hours.
I average about an hour a day of TV watching.
I'm dead, so I watch none.
Like 30 minutes.
I watch TV every day.
I don't really watch much TV.
At East Hamilton, we took a recent survey of 100 people, and we found that everyone who watched 8 to 10 hours of television per day had a 2.0, everyone who watched 4 to 6 hours per day had an average of a 3.0, and everyone with a 4.0 watched less than 3 hours of television per day. Also, we found that everyone who watched 3 or less hours of television had a more positive attitude, while people who watched more than 4 hours of television had a more hostile attitude. We also found that the number one genre watched at our school was sports, followed by drama and then comedy. There's an estimated 109.6 million televisions in homes across the U.S. In fact, 50% of kids have a TV in their bedroom. The average time kids spend watching TV each day is 4 hours. The average youth living in the U.S. watches television 25 hours a week and plays computer games an additional 7 hours. Children spend more time watching television than in any other activity except sleep.
We can stop it now.
In a survey conducted by the Parents TV Council, it was found that 66% of children ages 10 to 16 surveyed say that their peers are influenced by TV shows. 65% say that shows like The Simpsons and Married with Children encourage kids to disrespect their parents. But the main problem is violence. Witnessing repeated violence acts can lead to desensitization and a lack of empathy for human suffering. Television alone is responsible for 10% of youth violence. By age 18, a U.S. youth will have seen 16,000 simulated acts of murder and 200,000 acts of violence. Media violence may cause aggressive and antisocial behavior, desensitize viewers to future violence, and increase perceptions that they are living in a mean and dangerous world. Children often behave differently after they've been watching violent programs on television. Children who watched violent shows were more likely to strike out at playmates, argue, disobey authority, and were less willing to wait for things that children who watched non-violent programs would. Reducing the amount of time grade school children spend watching television and playing video games can make them less aggressive towards their peers.
What does this all mean exactly? This is proof that television is affecting our young people in society. Even teens and children agree that it is affecting us. This is a growing epidemic, and at the rate we're going, we shall live in a world desensitized to violence. It will be the norm, and what will we be accustomed to? Is this a future we desire? I don't think so. But what we can do is combat this problem. How can we bring the issue to the public eye and get it the attention it so desperately needs? Our goal today is to change the way people view television, to make them realize that there's more to life than just watching TV.
That's what we're calling for a mass return to center. On May 17th, we're challenging everybody around the world to turn off their television.
For 24 hours, no one will watch TV. It will make people follow their dreams that were once deferred by the confines of television.
There are many things that you can achieve in your life, and now's the time to do it. The days of sitting around on the couch all day watching television are over.
We've come full circle, and we conclude our journey here. Sure has been a long way.
A good 14 minutes, a long way.
14 minutes well spent, if you ask me.
I hope you learned something today. We learned about television, its control, but most importantly, I think we learned something about ourselves.
So thank you for watching, and as always,
stay on the roll. So, Andres, just talk to people about TV.
Yeah, I think we did a pretty good job.
Yeah, do you think I should learn something today?
Yeah, I mean, what could possibly go wrong?
I mean, we could end up like that guy.
Yeah, well, let's just hope they send us buckets of money.
That would be really nice, dude.
You buy mansions, cars, stop Ugandan dictators.
Yeah, dude.
Wait, Sean.
What?
You never told us what your favorite show was.
Oh.
So what is your favorite show?
The Warrior. Well, dude. Oh.
All these donations will come to help these poor children in need of shelter and food.
I'm watching TV.
You know, this can be the end. Romance or action does not matter. Hurting your friends will make you sadder. Guys,
Follow us on Twitter.
Check out our YouTube page.
Epic Top.
YouTube, please stop.